wrong already. Welcome to Please Don't Judge Us. I am your host, or should I say, to the point with Yolanda and Andrew. Right? How about that? Right?
That's right, sis.
That's what our show was. To the point. I like that.
I
right?
always get to the point.
Get to the point. And that's why we are here today to even talk about our show that we did, like maybe over 10 years ago, to the point. Talking about where we were then and where we are now, especially when you're talking to someone you've been talking to for so many years, you can just jump right into it. Like we just did. We just jumped right on into it. You know what I'm saying? And but you know what? But for some people who may not know who you are, do me a favor. Reintroduce yourself as only you can on To the Point.
To the point. Everybody should know me. I'm Andrew Bobbitt. I've been working in the community over 30-something years, helping individuals, working in politics, working with kids programs, feeding the homeless, and we did it all together. Even like veterans, take it to the street program for the city, weed and seed. So, I've been busy in the city, just trying to help other individuals, try to get their lives together, especially our young black men, so.
That's very important. That's very important. So he's talking about the city of Trenton, New Jersey. Although we are a broadcaster all over the world, thank you, Jesus, for that. And some of the things that you're going to hear him talk about, they can be used in your community. It's not just about Trenton.
Yes.
They can be used anywhere. My mother always say, use what you can use. If you can't use it, don't even worry about it. Just throw it away. You know what I mean? So let's just get into the whole conversation of community, right? Because it sounds like you've done a lot in the community, for the community, with the community. You know what I'm saying? As an individual, as a concerned citizen, and also working into politics. You know what I'm saying? And then going to church.
Yeah.
All of that, you know what I mean?
Raised in the church.
All of that.
Yeah, grandmother had us in church back in North Carolina. I remember we used to wear suits with the shorts on, with the cut off suit with the tie, the bow tie, just like I'm wearing today.
Yeah. Had to get dressed up.
Had to get dressed up, go to church every Sunday.
So that is the foundation.
The foundation is always church.
Yes. All right, so now we have the foundation of Andrew Bobbitt. So what else do we have for Andrew Bobbitt? Hello, son. How are you? I'm doing fine.
Hey, nephew.
Zaire, nice to meet you. Nice. This guy, Aaron, he has an office downstairs at Hub 13. Hub 13 stands for Helping Urban Businesses. So when we're here, we're doing live, we're doing videos. You never know who may come through the door here. You know what I mean? Celebrities, everybody comes through. Zaire, he does photographs and all of those things. So that was his plug, real quick.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So now let's talk about, we had the foundation.
Yes.
Right. Now let's talk about what came after that.
Well, say the foundation of dealing with that, then working with individuals that come home from prison, and building a community up better.
Yeah, but before you even go there, no, I know something even before that you've been trying to skip over. You want to write it down. You were really good in sports.
Oh yes, well known. That's what made me popular. I was almost all state in baseball, track, and also football. So my popularity came from the 80s, early 80s, 80 all the way to 83. And Trenton High in 1979 was the first time we combined. We was the first freshman team of Trenton High history in 1979 with a lot of good teams from junior 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's it.
Yeah, okay. Well, you get that out there, kudos, to the sports world, thank you for that.
Yes.
Because they always say that, people who play sports leave, they get famous in sports or whatever, and they never come back to their hometown or anything like that. So, but you're here.
Yes.
Right? So now we have the foundation, we have the sports school, school sounds like school was very important to you, sports and stuff like that. So now, like you were saying, now let's get into the meat and potatoes of what Angel Bobbitt do.
Well, like I said, one thing I do is try to help people. And like I said, when they talk about my toughness, what bothers me and what doesn't bother me. As a young age, I know one thing is growing up in North Carolina, and we had the KKK and all of that stuff going on. And I remember my grandmother and them packed us up because the KKK was where it blew up our house
Mm.
in Oxford, North Carolina. So I came up here about 5 or 6 thinking I was coming to visit Trenton
Yeah.
and ended up staying. And then the worst part is that when I got up here in '70, they had the riots between the white and black, and I lived on Locust Street.
Mm-hmm.
So then that was another confrontation
Yeah.
that I was like, do anybody like us black people?
Yeah.
You know, and it bothered me, but
Yes.
it
Yeah.
made
Yes.
me tough
Mm-hmm.
as the years go by. Just had to fight through that. Like our younger generation don't know nothing about that. And then I remember I was playing baseball as a young person at 12 years old, and I had to play in Chambersburg.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't go out Chambersburg out of Riverside.
Yeah.
But I remember trying to go out there to play, and the neighbors would call me the N word. What you doing out here? I got threatened. My coaches used to have to drive me back
Yeah.
from the baseball game to my house. So my grandmother said, "You're gonna have to drive him over there." But after they started learning how good I was, then they started accepting me.
Okay.
So it's called, it make you tough.
Yeah.
And then when people come after you, and I know, you know the world I work in,
Yeah.
you got jealousy, you got hatred,
Mm-hmm.
and you got individuals try to bring you down.
Mm-hmm.
And majority of the time is our own people.
Yeah. Oh.
And that's what hurts. It's your own people when you try to better yourself.
Yeah.
From the neighborhood I grew up in, like people like Greg Grant, Troy Vincent, we got a lot of great stars.
Yeah.
So when you start moving yourself, trying to do better, you still got people trying to bring you down.
Yeah, some people you grew up with know some things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like they always say, if you're getting ready to do a cake or whatever, do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Because honey, if somebody get upset with you,
Yes.
they gonna run and tell that. You know what I mean? And that's where you know there's no true loyalty.
Yeah.
Loyalty should always be. You know
Well, loyalty, I'm being honest, sis, Yolanda. Loyalty is my number one thing. I preach it, I put it on my Facebook page. If you don't have loyalty, you can't have a friendship. People ain't gonna trust you. And one thing we grew up with, remember this saying, my word is my bond.
Yeah.
That means I'm gonna stick to you through the thick and the thin.
Yeah.
And if you break that bond, it was like you'd be banned back in the days. You go around and break that bond.
Yeah.
They said they can't trust you no more in life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
loyalty is very important to me. For me being in the military, is always protect, loyalty, and defend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I live, the code I live
Okay.
by. Yeah.
Wow. You know, that's pretty deep and heavy because especially like you said, when you're trying to help. Everybody don't accept the help or don't know what the help is for, or some people may use or abuse help, right? And then once they found out about the abuse that they do, now they want to go and try to defame you so nobody don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean, trying to gaslight everybody so they're able to run around scot-free. So I'm sure you probably deal with stuff like that.
Well,
You know anything about that?
I'm dealing with that now.
Do tell.
I'm gonna say something that I held in for over the last 2 months. I have individuals might be running for office, trying to defame my name, other individuals that are around me. I got individuals, but the last straw came. I don't mind. You want to send stuff to my house trying to defame me, talk about me, and things like that. But a lot of people ain't gonna listen. A lot of people don't really know me. But one thing I have separated is who I am in the community and how I live my life.
Yes.
Because I always found out and learned that through Mayor Palmer. That's the only place you have is home and your surroundings. But everybody else, if you're a public figure, everybody can see that.
Yeah.
But in the last couple of months, I got people sending letters to my house trying to defame me, talking about my friends that nobody knows about or they think they know. But the last straw been recently when somebody goes and uses a fake Facebook page and start talking about my dead grandson. And then they wanted to send it to my daughters. Don't even know which one. trying to talk about me, how I felt about my grandson. And one thing a lot of people don't know, my last name Bobbitt,
Mm-hmm.
but it promise you, in this city, it's about, I'm connected, I got family members with about 15 different names.
Yeah.
But when you start attacking my kids,
Mm-hmm.
damn them politics.
Yeah.
One thing we don't do in politics, we could go against each other.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start attacking
Yeah.
attacking people's family, 30 years I've been in politics, you never go and attack
Mm-hmm.
somebody's family.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one thing you don't do.
So you're saying that someone now is starting to attack your family. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Going through doing some, like, because I know social media, people hide behind a computer,
Yeah.
hide behind a keyboard. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like they're like keyboard bullies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they do certain things. They got time. Some people got
Yeah.
time all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're just doing different things like that. You know what I mean? But like you said, people know you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
People know your integrity and all of those types of things. So if this person wants to do that, they talked about Jesus Christ and he died for all of us, right?
Yeah.
What you do in your personal life, that's your personal life. And I understand when you're out there in a public figure, we are supposed to carry ourselves in a certain type of a way,
Exactly.
right? And if that's what you're doing, okay, let it be. But if someone is trying to, defame you, like you're saying, hey, people, go somewhere and sit down with them.
Yeah. It seems like sometimes people just don't have a life.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, being in politics, I didn't. One day you're gonna be the first person to know when I write this book. I didn't see some crazy stuff in politics.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't seen politicians do things, but that's their private life.
Yeah.
But nobody brings it up in their private life.
Yeah.
Nobody brings their family up and try to defame them too.
Yeah.
And then
just to get the win.
And then, like in my family,
Yeah.
I tell my kids all the time, I said, they were like, Dad, somebody said this about you on Facebook. I tell my kids, I tell my nieces and nephews, which I got a lot of them, don't say nothing.
Yeah.
That is part of it. As long as they ain't bothering you, that's when I get offensive.
Yeah.
And I never want to go back to the person I was when I was in the streets. And that's a whole different person.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to allow people to bring that out.
Yeah.
But, when you start talking about dead people that my family had to cry over, my grandson, and then you bring my grandson up in some of your Facebook pages.
They going that far.
Yeah, and then what happens, I'm telling you, some people in my family I can't control.
Yeah.
And I don't want nothing to happen. But I said what I was going to do today is basically talk about it. Because it's getting so bad.
Really?
Now I have to go to the police department and press charges. I don't know who I'm pressing charges on, but I'm gonna be prepared.
Oh my goodness. So that right there alone is a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It puts you into this threat mode to where you're having to look over your shoulder because you don't know how far this person is willing to go.
Yes.
With things like that. And that is something that no one should have to deal with. No one should have to deal with, someone being so angry about someone else. And we do have people that do that. They get so deep. Like they're like people on the sidelines.
Yeah.
But they get so into something, like they're really into that. So they take everything personal.
Yes.
What I'm saying, you know what I mean? So there's someone that's taking something so personal to where they're personally attacking you, hoping that it will sway and help the other person. But only God knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we don't need anyone else riding around, doing something that making somebody feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like, if that person is doing these things, come from behind the screen.
Yeah.
And make it known. Like, don't hide.
Yeah.
Say, hey, it's me. I don't like you. I'm saying these things about you.
Yeah.
And people do that.
Yeah.
I mean, people will get together with other people and they will talk about you.
Yeah.
And they'll be
right in my face. You know what the crazy thing I've been doing? I learned from my grandparents and I learned from other people. People that I listen up to. I got mentors, still the age I am, is people I listen to. If I know how you are to me, I could shake your hand and look you dead in your face, but I would not trust you. I would not trust you. And I do that a lot with individuals. But one thing nobody ever can say, and you know me for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
if I got a problem with you, I'm telling you right there in your
Yes.
face, I'm going to call you and tell you. So if you hear it in the streets and
Mm-hmm.
somebody said, Bobbitt said this, you already know I
You
said
already
it.
know it.
But never, and the worst thing I hate was somebody. Who the hell is
It's
somebody?
somebody.
You ever get when people always say,
Well,
well,
somebody
I heard
said.
somebody. And if you my friend, don't come back and tell me what somebody
You know,
said. Tell me now.
but that means you were in the conversation.
Yeah.
Did you join in the conversation?
Exactly.
Like, my mother used to always say, a dog could carry a bone, a dog could bring a bone. You know what I mean? So for me, I call it no water cooler conversation. I'm not standing by no water cooler conversation, having no conversation about nobody. You know what I mean? Like, we had to stop that. If it's not to elevate, don't do it at all. Like my grandmother would always say, if you ain't got nothing nice to say about nobody, don't say nothing.
Yes.
Just if you don't like this gentleman, just be okay. I don't fool with him and just go somewhere else and leave it alone. But don't be so vindictive to do.
One thing I always said, I remember Mayor Palmer, and I seen some politicians when he ran, became first black mayor.
Mm-hmm.
He had thousands of friends.
Yeah.
Thousands of friends. About the time he finished up,
Mm-hmm.
them thousands, I could tell you right now, he could count 10 friends on his hand. Because soon as you get to that point, you don't get what you want from that person, that's what they do. They're gonna kick you back down.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I don't play with, I have several I got mostly girls.
Mm-hmm.
I got 3 girls and a son. And I tell people, and my son is gay.
Mm-hmm.
And when I talk to him and I say, I got three daughters and a son,
Mm-hmm.
he said, no, Dad, you got 4 daughters.
I know that.
And we have fun with that.
Yeah.
And I stick with him from the time I knew he was gay.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to talk to him about conversations, what to do in his relationship. That's what kind of father I am.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
God made him.
Yeah.
We had him,
Mm-hmm.
but God made him.
Yeah.
So God made him and we still love him.
Mm-hmm.
So I got more daughters. I got about 6, 7 granddaughters.
Mm-hmm.
And I adopt a lot of other people. My daughter's friends, they call me Pop Pop. I got so many young people that call me Pop Pop.
Mm-hmm.
I got, I like Charlene and Charnette. They call me their dad because as me growing up with no father and no mother, and I had to adjust. If I ain't had that base with my grandmother and grandfather, I don't know where I would have been. But I learned how to adapt. A lot of people don't know black people can adapt to anything. It's just like when we was in slavery, what they took our culture away. But guess what? You take black people now, we made our own culture now. Right? There's no culture like a black culture. You could take Italians, Polish, they still do their thing. Black people adapt to anything, and that's what adapt. We create.
We like to be, working with our hands and our mind and, things like that. So I hear you say, you're with your grandmother, you're raised by your grandmother.
And father.
Your grandparents.
My grandparents. That's when a man was a man. They stayed and made sure they were married.
Well, tell us about your grandparents.
Oh man, you're talking about 2 beautiful people. They used to teach you how to clean. Every Saturday morning you had to clean. You wasn't going to watch no TV. You wasn't going out anyway. But they and my grandfather talked to me about discipline. And it's always about discipline. But you're talking about 2 lovely people that helped raise, just not me, but some other people in the family. When they messed up, they came over. So like I was saying, in life and in the job I have, I'm used to getting attacked. And just like I said earlier, KKK, you can't get no worse enemies than the KKK. You can't get no worse enemies than hatred. When people using the N-word and calling you that, you can't get no more hatred of bullies. You can't get no more hatred of individuals that you have to fight all the time. So it built me, and plus being in the military, being disciplined, that took me to another level. You could talk about me all day. One thing I got taught, don't touch me. And then when you get older and you got kids, do not mess with my kids. Now that's the type of shit that would make me go to jail.
Yeah.
When you start to messing with my kids or my grandkids and stuff, yeah, that's the type of semi there.
Yeah, but we don't want that. So, so before we wrap it up, give some last thoughts on community. You know, because there's an election, you know, coming up, and people will do some stuff for their person to win. You know? So let's just.
Well, one thing I learned in politics, I'm not running for office.
Right?
I never ran for office, but I know what people try to do. It has happened before. They'll try to take the person out. I got a reputation as the king master. Yeah, I make a lot of people in a position that go from governor, presidents on down. Been there, done it. And the first person they try to take out is that person.
Yeah.
When you got people, like if people get mad at you if you don't work on their campaign. Now, I used to be your friend, now I'm not shit.
Yeah, oh wow.
Right, if I don't work with you. Some people have it to be in position, some people don't have it. And I have that instinct, that's something that God gave me to tell you about how people are. Some people are, when you selfish, I can't deal with that. If you're about the people, let's be about the people. Let's try to help people. Let's try to make our city better. You know, people talk about Mayor Reed all they want, but the man is there. And I don't care what color he is. You know, some people ain't as tough as other individuals. But like I was saying, people come after me all the time. But with these fools running now, that think they're gonna run, I don't mention no names, but when you start coming after my family, I'm a Cancer. That's my sign, Cancer. And I'm gonna tell you how we are. That's like a quarter of gasoline in a car. You just put that shit on full, cause that's all you doing is just energize. It just make me get tougher. But I tell people all the time, and I'm gonna say it again to anybody out there: when you go to that level, I'm gonna find you. And at the same time period, I'm gonna do it the proper way.
Pen and paper.
But just hope, I can't vouch for what might happen if the other family member have after I make this video.
Well, we just hope that whomever, you know, has done this decides that, hey, let me go somewhere and sit down and leave this man alone. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth, you know, doing all of this for what? To try to bring somebody in. Who's going to win? Like, are you going to win? Or is it a private group or something? You know what I mean? Like, what's happening here? And like he's saying, you don't bother no one's family. You know what I mean? If they're not bothering you, don't bother them. If you, like you said, you got a beef with somebody, say something, but don't hide behind the computer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that could tell me right there, that's somebody young and stupid. And don't know better.
Don't know better.
That's young and stupid. That's games. We never played those games. We used to hide by what's that on the phone calls of calling on 69 hanging up.
Oh yeah.
Remember those?
Before Star 69 came out.
Star 69, and then when you hang up, and then you can see the number.
You see the number,
but this game right here is just like, you might as well be like Trump in them. If you don't have no loyalty running for office, and you tell people lies, you're doing the same thing this other man doing.
You gotta start doing trickery and things like that. It's called politics. You know what I'm saying? You gotta start, you know, doing stuff like that. You know, trying to defame someone, bring someone else up. That means the person you're trying to bring up must ain't got nothing going on for themselves.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They need a lot of help.
Like think about it. Like that's how y'all try to get some money or get someone in office. Rethink that thing and say maybe this is not it, because we cannot keep getting people in positions and then they're not ready for these positions because they're popular, someone knows them, or things like that. No, you need to be ready, suited and booted. And if you're not suited and booted, it don't matter who you try to defame, it's gonna come out that you ain't doing nothing anyway. So
and then and you said it earlier, everybody should know their position in life. How many times after Doug Palmer left, I could have ran for mayor? My popularity, the stuff I have learned, I know how to run it. But you know what? You know what I'm good at? Helping. Sometimes you can't be number one all the time. Gotta be a number two and a three. So I know my place. My job is to make sure any politician get in office, from the governor, anybody, I want you to know how our community looks.
Yes.
I want you to know how we are struggling. That's what I do. And say, this is what we need money for. This is what we need money for. We can't keep giving money for different programs and other organizations and it's not seeing the street. You know what we're talking about, mental health and everything.
Yes.
But I know some people might be running for office got mental problems.
Genesis Consultant, check out the Genesis program, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mental health is very important, like
It's
you said,
very,
because people are traumatized, right? And especially if you live in a small city where you don't get a lot of different things and you don't have access to fresh fruit, vegetables, transportation, clothing, education, and things of that nature, sometimes it can break you.
Yeah.
You know, you're traumatized, but you can't get no help.
Yeah.
You know, and even in larger cities, people are traumatized. You know,
right now with everything going on.
You know,
but I want to appreciate you for letting me come on the show and talk about it after this other mess. And when we get in the new year, we're going to start our show up and we're going to tell it like it is.
We're going to tell it like it is. But right now, we just went straight to the point. As to, you know, just to hear and get to know Andrew Bobbitt a little bit more, for some who may not know him, and those who may think you know him, you know what I mean? And then for those who are trying to play in his face, you know what I mean? We don't want to do that to anyone. We get ready to go into 2026 and beyond, and we want to be soulful, empowered. We want to mind our business and drink our water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of you because I know there's great things coming. I'm just glad to have you on the show today.
Okay, you're my sister. Yes. Anytime I need you and you there for me, and I'm gonna be there for you.
Yes, well, thank you very much, everybody. Clap it up, and clap it up for yourselves. All right, love yourselves. It's your girl Yolanda L. Robinson. Oh, please don't judge us with a special segment of To the Point with my guest here, Mr.
And you
Andrew
will
Bobbitt.
see us together again 2026. And we will be getting straight to the point. None of that bull, no lying. We're going to tell you just what it is, where you see it, where you hear it, and it's going to come from us.
Yes. All right, y'all now. Peace. Thank you all so very much.